Are you a Grade 11 Life Sciences learner stressing about your Term 3 test? If so, let's see if you can answer these questions from the KZN September 2025 test. I'd like you to pause the video, answer the questions, and then comment down below how many marks you scored out of 9. The diagram below shows a set of lungs. Question 2.1.1 asks us to identify parts B and E. So let's go through all the labels on the diagram. Label A is pointing to the C-shaped cartilage rings, which help keep the trachea open. Label B is pointing to the trachea. Label C is pointing to the muscles in between the ribs, so the external intercostal muscles. Label D is pointing to the dome-shaped diaphragm, and label E is pointing to the alveoli. For this question, it is only worth 1 mark, and you only need to identify or name the parts. Question 2.1.1, so the answer for A is going to be the trachea. The answer for B is going to be the alveolus. Question 2.1.2, describe the role of parts C and D during exhalation. So, in order to answer this question properly, we have to know the names of parts C and D, and we also need to refer to exhalation. So this is when air is being expired. This is when CO2 is being breathed out. So we have to say, what does label C do and what does label D do? Label C is the external intercostal muscle and label D is the diaphragm. So what role do these two parts play in exhalation? Note that the question isn't asking you to explain the entire process of exhalation. You are only asked to explain what the intercostal muscles and the diaphragm contribute to the process. So, the diaphragm relaxes and becomes arched. Or you can say the diaphragm relaxes, pushing air out. Point number 2, we say that the external intercostal muscles relax, thus lowering the rib cage. So, your first mark is for giving the name of the label and saying what happens to that part. Your second mark is then for saying what the result of that is. So this decreases the volume of the thoracic cavity. Remember that when the volume in the thoracic cavity decreases, the air pressure then increases. This forces air out of your out through your mouth or through your nose. So this is a good 4-mark question. Question 2.1.3 says, the bronchoalveolar carcinoma is a rare form of lung cancer that originates and damages the cells lining part E. So, what is part E? The alveoli. Explain how this disease may result in death if it is not detected earlier. So, this is a 3-mark question. So, point number 1. The surface area for gaseous exchange is reduced. Remember, gaseous exchange takes place in the alveoli. If the alveoli are damaged, that means that there is less gaseous exchange happening. So that means less oxygen is entering the blood, less oxygen is reaching your tissues or your heart muscles, more carbon dioxide is actually being trapped. We know that carbon dioxide in excess can be poisonous, as it can form carbonic acid and result in heart failure. So you have to refer to what is happening to the alveoli and then explain the implications of that. If alveoli are damaged, that means less gaseous exchange. Less gaseous exchange, less oxygen. Less oxygen, less energy for your body tissues. Right. So this is a 9-mark question in total. I'd like you to count your ticks, give yourself a mark out of 9, and comment how much you got below. Thank you very much.